Insoms, what is up? Long time no talk. Um, Not gonna spend too much time on here today. I'm on the laptop. I'm sorry I haven't made a video more recently. I tried not too long ago, but unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow you to go live on mobile anymore unless you've got over 1,000 subscribers. So since I basically do this for myself, it's going to be a while before I hit 1,000 subscribers. Um, and so I I got on here to give an update, kind of a last hurrah for the meantime, because man, these weeks are flying by. But but so in some, just like I said, a quick update. I don't remember what I talked about last. I don't remember how long it's been. It's probably been 6 weeks or so. Tried to hop on here maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, and a lot has happened in that time. I I just want to talk for this episode, this whatever, about how everything's been going for me. I finished the draft of my book. I don't know if I had finished that the last time I talked. Had about 95,000 words. Read 2 books since finishing it. My writing, I've read Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and I've read The Story Grid, which are both books designed to teach you how to properly format and write a book. So now I just started the editing process maybe a week ago, and I'm really happy with the way I'm starting to the way the pieces are kind of falling in place, right? I mean, I had 95,000 words of just gibberish, just thoughts and kind of a progression of my life. And now I'm structuring it, and it's pretty cool to see how story is structured and the way things are done properly. But enough about that. So I started that. I applied to that Master's in Entrepreneurship program at UW. I think I mentioned that the last time I was on. And I ended up getting waitlisted, which was kind of disappointing, right? I thought I was a shoo-in because of my patent, because of my Seattle Times talk, and my prior handgun instructor experience, and just a whole bunch of other things. And so when I got waitlisted, I thought, oh man, here comes that Bettis luck again, but thankfully I wasn't just automatically rejected. I got an email saying, hey, this has been a very competitive applicant pool, and stand by, you'll know in about 2 weeks whether or not you're selected. So I was like, damn it, okay. So that following week, after getting that email, I probably got that email on like a Thursday or Friday. And that next week, I had Voc Rehab, or Voc Rehab is a program through the Veterans Affairs that helps send veterans to a training program. Usually up to 2 years kind of maximum. So a lot of vets use it for welding school, plumbing school, trade schools in general. And some veterans use it for grad school. So I was going to try to use it for grad school. I started the application, went to go see a counselor. He gave me paperwork to hand to them. So I decided I'm going to go to campus and take my veteran paperwork, and I'm also going to stop by the department I applied to just poke my head in there. I'm on the wait list, poke my head in, and just let them know, like, hey, I really want this. I really want to be here. So that was my intention. And so I think it was on a Tuesday. It was on a Tuesday. I had planned to go on a Monday, but whatever happened, I kind of, decided maybe I don't want to go. Maybe I shouldn't kind of intrude, quote unquote. Intrude is not really the word I'm looking for. But But yeah, I just didn't want to impose my, not even impose my will. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to find the word to kind of explain what I was trying to not do, right? And so I loaded my daughters up, both of them, took them with me to UW, and I took the veterans paperwork to the veteran office, and that shit took like 5 minutes. It was just, it basically didn't need to be filled out, right? Because there's no point in doing this paperwork unless you're accepted into a program, because there's no point in paying for school if you don't, if you don't get into school. So paperwork took like 5 minutes. After it was done, I was like, shit, did I really just drag my daughters over here for, 45-minute drive, 15 minutes of walking for a 5-minute information that probably could have been done over the phone? And I sat there and I contemplated, that self-doubt and fear started to creep in again. And I promised myself at the beginning of this year that I was going to stomp that shit out. So whenever it started to creep in, I said, you know what? I'm going to stomp this shit out. I'm going to go in there, right? Why am I going to let this kind of dictate what happens today? So my daughters and I left the veteran office at Schmidt's Hall, I believe it's called. And we were started walking towards the Foster Business School. And so we walk in, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to walk in, hand this veteran paperwork to the admissions lady, let her throw whatever she needs to throw on there, and just kind of use it as an excuse, as a reason to pop my head in. So I did that, and as soon as I walked in, it was so weird. As soon as I walked in, the look on their faces, the admissions, the woman who does admissions, and the director of the program, looked like they may be seeing a ghost or something. That's kind of crazy. When I walked in, and they were like, Ricardo, hi. And I was just like, hi, what's going on? I just brought this veteran paperwork to get filled out, if you don't mind. And then they go, did you get our email? And I was like, no, your email. And they said, yeah, we just emailed you like not even 10 minutes ago about, well, actually before all that, right when I walked in, the director of the program, or like after I walked in, they said, hey, did you get the email? I said, no. And the director of the program says, oh, well, I've spent all morning with you. And so it's kind of crazy that you're here right now. And she's like, well, I meant, I've spent all morning with you going over your application packet. And so it's crazy that you're here right now. And, and they had sent me an email to do an interview with the director, right? I was a competitive applicant. I interviewed her originally with the admissions woman who does admissions. And so they wanted me to interview with the director to clarify some things I said. And so I was just like, oh, basically it came down to, you're here now. I want to do an interview with you. I have time now. Let's step into my office and do this interview. So I sat down and I did the interview for about 20 minutes, maybe going on pushing 30 minutes, while my daughters sat right outside the door, being good like always. That's why I can take them wherever I go. And because I never really have any issues with them. But yeah, so we sat there and interviewed, and it went great. It went so fucking great. And when I left there, I knew I punched my ticket. I fucking knew it. It was just so crazy how it all played out. I went with the intention to go. When I showed up, the fear crept in, and I was like, man, I shouldn't do it. But then I stomped that shit out, and I went in. And it just so happened that I went in on the right day, because I had intended to go on Monday too, right? Like I said, I was going to go on Monday, but whatever happened, I just kind of lost motivation to go, so pushed it to Tuesday. And yeah, it's just crazy how everything works out. Crazy. And when I left there, I was just so happy because I knew that this was it. I got in. I showed I want to be here. I came. And not only did I come, I came on the perfect day at the perfect time. And sure enough, I sent an email to her a day or two later, maybe even later that evening. I don't remember. I think it was the following day. And I said, thank you for the spontaneous interview. I appreciate you taking the time, especially me showing up randomly. And she said, oh, no worries. I'm glad we were able to take advantage of it, and we'll be in touch next week. And so I was feeling pretty good. I had a feeling I punched my ticket, was expecting to find out towards the end of that following week. And on that Monday, I got an email saying, "Congratulations, Ricardo. You are one of 30 that were selected to do this program." And so I got in just by sheer will, I guess. I don't know. It sure as hell wasn't luck. You know, I maybe a little bit of luck. Like, what were the chances of me choosing to do on a Tuesday instead of the Monday I had originally planned? And that not only that, she chose to review my application packet on Tuesday, and it's just been a crazy ride. In sums, a crazy fucking ride this year. And I'm sorry I haven't been on here more. I really want to be, believe me, but I just, with the book, the application stuff I was doing, not only for the master's program, but for the other entrepreneur programs I applied to, and just reading books about how to properly structure my story so that way it's worth people's money and time. And just, god damn, it's just so crazy. And I just, there hasn't been a bunch of high days, right? Just recently I've been contacting lawyers trying to get a hold of somebody that helped me get the VA in trouble because my doctor isn't. Um, my doctor didn't put in any of the stuff he said he was going to put in for me. Whether it slipped his mind or whether it was intentional, I'll never know. But I hope, being a Veterans Affairs doctor, that his goal every day is to help veterans. So it's been rough. I go try to get my blood drawn during walk-in blood draw hours, and they never draw my blood. And it's really aggravating when I spend time and money, drag my daughters with me, go and deal with these people, and they don't ever help me. So I have my ups and my downs, just like we do every day. I was just talking to a friend yesterday about how 3 years ago, roughly, when we were living in that small apartment, and I was basically an alcoholic. I was not basically, I was an alcoholic, living in a tiny ass apartment in the third floor of a complex. And I used to tell my friends every night, I'd spend all day drinking and applying for jobs, and I wasn't myself, and it was a horrible, horrible time. And I would always tell my friends at night, "Man, guys, this sucks. Like, goddamn, this sucks." But I know it's only temporary, right? We got degrees. We don't have jobs, but we got degrees. And I know that things are going to get better. It might not be tonight. It might not be at the end of this week. It might not be at the end of this month. It might not be at the end of the year, which it wasn't until the end of the year that things got better. I mean, things progressively got better. We moved out of that shitty apartment into a house that this 3-car garage is basically the size of our apartment we lived in. And so things got better, but just, because I had a bigger house didn't change my mental, my attitude, and it took a lot of work to do that. So, coming up on 15 minutes here in Psalms. I just want to give a shout out to David Tell, who is the original Insomniac. And I'm just doing this right now because I heard yesterday how everybody apparently stole David Tell's shit. And it's like, wow, I basically stole David Tell's shit, and I didn't intend to, right? I mean, but yeah, I just saw something about other comedians stealing his work or his acts or whatever. So Dave, I know you'll probably never see this, but you the man. And I honestly, I love David Tell. He's just seems like a real genuine guy, and hope one day maybe I can meet him. So that's it in Psalms. My 15 minutes for today, and this is going to be the last one for a while. I start the program June 24th, orientation a full week prior. So pretty much here in roughly 6 weeks. I will be a college student again at the University of Washington, and I am super excited for the opportunity. And I look forward to talking to y'all again in Psalms. Grind away, find a way. Peace out, homies.